Okay, class. So today I'll be explaining it. Let me briefly explain what we're gonna learn today. I'll be explaining what is Git and how we can set up. All right, and what's the difference between Git and GitHub, and the most important concepts. As a software developer, you'll be using these commands regularly, when, especially, you'll be using regularly in Gits. Okay, all those basics I will teach today. In next class, I will teach you the advanced topics in Git. Okay, so let's begin. Let me share my screen. When I share my screen, I'll be viewing the website. So if you have any questions and I didn't reply you in chat box, you can feel free to unmute and ask me. Okay. All right, class. You can see my screen, right? Everyone can see my screen, right? Okay, fantastic. All right, guys. So this is W3 Schools. Okay, you can just type W3 Schools Git, then you can view this website already. All right. So let me briefly explain what is Git. Guys, Git is actually version control system. Okay, if you still don't understand what is version control system, okay, very simple concept is, let's say I have a project. Okay, let's say I have a folder. Let me create a folder. Okay, new folder. Let me call it okay Git. Okay, Git. Learning something like that. Okay, so this is a folder, and inside this folder, I have another file. Right, very easily. I can open in Visual Studio Code. Okay, I have a file. Okay, so now I have a file, and I have a folder, and I want to create a new file. Let me create a home page index. Okay, index.html, and then let me uh, have some codes like that. Okay, so I believe everyone knows how to have the structure and all that. So learn Git. Okay, then over here I have a header. I say the tag should be small letter. Okay, say hello Git. Okay, so now we can preview this. All right, so I have this project, but now I have already built this and already this website. So assume that this website is running. All right, next day I want to change this hello Git to hello world. All right, then I saved. All right, it's done. And the following day, I'm changing this whole thing. Maybe I'm writing my favorite cars. Okay, my favorite cars. Then I'm doing blah 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 blah. Okay, then all of a sudden, I've changed my mind now. I want to revert back to Hello Git. Obviously, it's very small task. You can type by yourself if you want to change. Imagine that you have written thousands of lines, and all of a sudden you have to change something. Okay, and you have to revert back to three versions before. Is it easy to do? Obviously, now you can undo just like this. All right, but then assume that if you have already closed this, and now you reopen. Okay, are you able to undo? No, right? You can't revert back to your previous versions. Like I started from Hello Git, Hello World, then I changed to my favorite class. But now I want to change back to Hello Git to the first version. Is it possible? No. So if you have a version controller, it's very easy to revert back to your old versions. Like for examples, assume that you have this, then you are making some changes, and you don't want to lose all your this current folder. So you usually what we will do, let's say if you are let's say if you are doing a project, or let's say assume you're doing some slides like a PPT, usually we'll have version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, right? Okay, because we worried that we will lose all our previous version if we keep on changing, right? So, like for example, let me show some examples. Let me uh, duplicate this. Then I said this is version version v 1.0. Then I do something. Maybe this time, okay, I change. Okay, this time maybe I change uh, these two. Add another paragraph P. Then I say my favorite car is Proton, something like that. Okay. Then the next day, I have to make more changes. Then what we will be doing? If, if you don't want to lose all your previous, your current, your previous changes, we'll be keep on creating a new folder and folder and folder so that if let's say if you don't you want to remember it, it's easy. But how long you can do that? And we're also wasting a lot of storage, right? So to avoid all these problems, all right, we can use Git. Git is it won't uh, store the old folder, but it will remember all your changes. If you use what do you call that, Microsoft Words or even Google Drive, you can always check your histories, right? Who made changes, what when they made changes, what where they changed, and all that. Same. Git is exactly the same thing. All right. And also, let's say more than one or more than one developers developing a project. All right. Okay, maybe he's developing a button and I'm developing maybe some contents. All right. So they both, and if let's say, uh, let's say lah, we want to develop something. For example, let's say I'm developing this navigation bar at the top, and my other friend is developing the sidebar. All right, maybe you may think that since this is like this layout, this sidebar is based on this navigation bar, right? So maybe sometimes they have to wait for me to copy, only then they can develop the sidebar. But if you have a Git, shouldn't be a problem. You can immediately start developing this, and once you copy, you can also push, and I can also adjust my navigation bar, or else I can actually develop and push, and you can quickly pull my changes, and you can develop the sidebar. So it's very easy, even if there's any conflicts, and easy to resolve it. All right. So let me. Do you have any questions so far? Do you understand what is exactly Git is now, or you're still confused? You can feel free to ask. Okay, sure. All right. So now, if you want to check whether your device is a Git or not, it's very easy. If you are using a Mac, you can open a terminal, or it's very easy. Easiest method is you can just open your Visual Studio Code, and you can open your terminal. I believe you know how to open a terminal. Okay, you can open a terminal in your Visual Studio Code, and you can just type Git dash dash version to check whether you have any Git versions. So I already have a Git. All right, this is my version number. All right. So if you don't have a Git, you can go to, you can just Google download Git. Okay, you can also use your command line to download. You can download as a folder like how you download other softwares. Okay, then you can download it, and it's very easy to download. All right, so you can download using this website. This is the official Git website. Even if you want to learn something about the Git, you can go to this documentation, and you can refer to them. They even have videos and all that, video, PDF to learn. Okay, all right. So this is how you download. You can download and you follow the steps. Very easy. All right. Once you check, and then you already downloaded your Git. Okay, now we have to set up. We need to set up our name, who is using this Git, and your email address, so that whenever you push something, and let's say two or three developers are doing something, and you want to know who did something just at specific times, you can trace it back. Okay, that's the purpose. All right, so they have explained it better, more about Git here. So like what you can do and all that. So okay, just now you were confused about whether the what is Git and GitHub. Git is basically a software, okay, to it's basically a software which is a version controller system. All right, but GitHub is basically like a storage to store your codes. And there's not only a GitHub, there's also Bitbucket, GitLab, and many more. All right, GitHub basically like a Google Drive. Okay, so where, like for example, you can have a Google Sheets, right? Google Sheet, Google Slides. All right, you can do all your projects and you can save it in Google Drive, right? Same. Git is like your maybe you can say as a Google Slide, Google Sheets, and GitHub is your Google Drive. Okay, that's all. They just are source codes, and this is built on top of Git. That's all. They use Git to manage all these source codes. That's it. All right. So this is the Git. All right. Once you finish downloading your Git, you have to config your name and email so that whenever you make your push, it will save and it's easy to trace who is making the changes. All right. So let me teach you on how to do that. Okay, you can go to your terminal again, and you can follow like git config dash dash global, and you can follow it. Or else you can just copy this, paste it here. All right. Then you can type your name. For example, you can type this. Okay, and done. Then you can also register your user email. Let me check. That's right. Okay, no problem. So let me, I forgot my email address. Alright, and subverter, yeah, correct. So then enter. Now you want to check whether you have written correctly or not, even if you made a mistake, how to change. Okay, let's learn on how to check. Right, so git config, if you want to check, sorry, git config, then I think let me check. I forgot how to check git config. But if you want to check, you can just go to okay, you can just Google how to check and username and password config. So yeah, git config is so git config list or double dash. Right. So now you can see that my user email is this and also my username is this. Okay, so we can check. And then if let's say if you want to what you want to, if let's say if you want to change it, you can retype this again, git config dash 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 global username dot name, then we can put your new username. All right, it's very easy to change. All right, that's all. All right, the next step is okay, now we gonna make some changes. All right, how to install git into your project. Obviously just now you already installed the git software into your machine or laptop or your computer. Okay, now we want to uh, tell the git that we want to track changes on on which project you want to track your changes. All right, so for that, let's say just now we we created this, let me delete all this. Okay, we created this project, right? Let me open. All right, so now I want to trace all my changes. Okay, over here. So I have to download. So we want to have a git system in this folder. So for that, just type git in it. So now, did you see? This is there's a U. U means untracked. All right, so you can see that Okay, there's some. It already found a new folder and all that. So that should be a. Usually, if you git in it and there's some files inside it, you have to push it into your git histories. To tell the git that this is my first thing that I have. Then later when you keep on making changes, you can keep pushing. Alright. So that's how you install the git system into your folder. So now the git will trace all your changes. So next is, see, that's what they have mentioned here. Alright, so let me move to the next part, new files. Alright, so next, since we already have a git in our project and we have a one file here in our project, let's have a first commit. Okay, let's have a first commit. You may wonder whether there's only way to use Git is using the terminal. Right? Actually, you can use data GUI. GUI means like they have a proper interface there where you can easily interact rather than typing manually all these. So you can use like source tree. Okay, you can use source tree. So they have all the buttons to push, pull, commit, merge, and all that. So even you can use here in VS Code, they already have a built-in GUI, correct? So you can comment, you can type a message, and you can do all kind of things here. But however, you should use it when you use terminal. It's much more easier and straight, very easy, actually in a way, and very fast. But the most recommended way is to use both. All right. What I do is usually to git pull or to do some configuration, I use command lines. And then you need to commit and push and to see my changes, okay, to see my changes and all that, I'll use this. All right. So that's how it's good to have both now. So it will be much faster. We are using all these tools to make our life easier as a software developer and also make our work faster, to complete our work faster. Alright. So you can use any of this method which you feel convenient and also you feel fast. Alright. So nothing is means that if you use command line, this terminal command line, you're pro, and if you use this, you're not a pro or something like that. Okay, you can use both. You can use either one, no problem. Whatever you feel convenient and also uh, easy and fast. All right. So let's say now I have a file. All right. So let's type git status to see what are the changes we have made. So there is untracked file. This is saying that we have a file called index.html which is not in our what do you call it uh, in our what do you call it we can say a new change which is not tracked by the git here. Alright. So what we can do is we can git add we can type this index.html if you have only one file. Let's say if you have a 5-6 files. Obviously you can type add one by one, right? You can just type git add dot. So now this has been staged. You can see here it says that stage changes. Okay, let me explain the differences between stage and also repository. Okay, repository means basically your folder. Okay, all right. So stage means you will collect all your changes into one container. See that stage means one container. You will collect all your changes in a container, and once you're already done, okay, then you can commit. Commit means you can officially release it, push the changes. Okay, like you save when you're doing something in a Google Word. Obviously, you can what do you call it? We will click save, right? Save means commit. But save changes when we collect all your changes together at one place, then we push. Alright. So now we can check our git status. We already add git add, right? So now the git status will be it says that changes to be committed. But just now you saw that untracked files. Untracked file means it's not in our repo yet. Okay, it's not in our repository yet. Obviously, it is in our local file, but it's not in our local Git repository. Alright, so we already add it and now you have to commit. So let's say I want to add another file, maybe this time index.css. Okay, then you can see there's another one. So you can git, you see, there is one to be committed, another one to be untracked files. Alright, so what we can do, we can add this as well. Alright, so now we can push all our, maybe now I will say that uh, I've already set up all the required file for a website. So now I have to have this script. Okay, maybe another one, index.js. Okay, I already set up. I assume that I already set up my boilerplate or whatever. Alright, so I want to add this as well. Status. Obviously, it's not. You can add it directly without typing this keep status, but I'm checking whether it's work. Everything's okay or not. Alright, so then hit add. Okay, done. So I've already add 3 files into stage. So I want to commit. So why we always stage and then commit is because obviously you can also skip that. You can directly commit it into your repository. But why we are staging first? Because when you collect everything and commit together, next time it's very easy to trace back what you have actually done. For example, you're developing a button. Maybe today we just created the layout, but you haven't finished the styling. Okay, we can once you made the changes, you can stage first. Okay, once you have successfully completed the whole thing, the whole feature of developing the button, then you can commit and then you can also write the message that uh, this is feature what, okay, feature button to reload page or whatever, a button to submit form, then you can commit. So next time you want to trace back and let's say you want to use refer to that button or you need that button or you want to trace back the button that you develop, you can easily check the history and then you know that when you read the message you know, oh, the other day I downloaded this button, right? This is the thing, right? Okay, you can go and see where you have made change, all the changes at one shot. If you every time you make one change, like just now, you just create one for file and then you commit. Then you create this file, then you commit. Obviously, this can, okay. Even some people do that, but uh, it's like if you want to say something very, it will be very difficult lah, because you are like pushing even half, what do you call that, uh not not a 100% job. Okay, so that's the reason better to stage or let complete one feature, or let's say if you're fixing some bug, complete it, only then you come to be better. Unless it's too big lah, unless it's too big feature or too big bug fix, then you can break it into two or three. All right, so now I already done one whole thing, which is setting up the files. So I've already set up all the files. I want to commit now into the repository. Commit means basically we are saving into our repository. So officially we are storing this. Officially we are storing. Okay. So how to commit? Let's check. So we already done the staging environment. We gathered everything. Alright. Now we want to commit. So this is git commit. For git commit, okay, we use git. We type git commit, then dash m. Dash m means we are saying that message, which means it knows that we are committing with a message. Obviously, you can commit. I think we can commit without message, but then what? No point. Lah. We can't trace. Very hard to trace back, right? So you should always commit with a message. So let me commit. Copy this command. All right. Then over here, okay, the command line here. I can type a message saying that this is my first commit. Usually we try to make our message very short and simple. Alright, no need to type like a long essay. First commit. So usually in first commit, we know that we have like a boilerplate or whatever. first commit. So we already push everything into the our repo. So what is branch? Obviously, when you first begin a folder, it will be in the main branch. That's the main branch. Okay. So probably okay. Okay. This is publish branch means we are pushing to GitHub or any other cloud sources. Okay, we will learn that in next class. If you have time, we will learn today. Alright. So we already committed. So you may wonder where this is coming. All this commit is stored in the Git repository already in our local machine. So usually let me check this here now. Alright. Okay. So now the next step is okay. What they are saying here is you can also actually commit directly without staging. Okay, but it's not really recommended unless it's a very small change. You don't need to stage and then you like commit lah. You can directly commit. So if let's say it's a very small thing lah, like small bugs, just changing the word for example. Now over here, you want to just change this. My favorite cars to just cars. Alright, you don't need to like stage this, then commit like very minor changes. You can directly commit it. Okay, so let's type git commit. Then we say what -a -n. You can follow here. This is okay. They're saying that okay, yeah, git commit -a-n. Alright, then you can type okay, change the header. Alright, then enter. So this file has been directly staged and automatically committed. Okay, so you can check your git status now. Nothing to commit, which means it's already committed. Alright, so next. So far, is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Or do you have any questions? Or you still in confused stage? You don't understand any terms? You can ask me now. If you don't understand this, then if I move further, you'll be still in a confused state. So that to clear all your confusion now. Git staging again. Okay. Git staging. Okay. Git staging is basically we gather all your changes at one place, then we commit everything one shot. So it will be very easier to trace back later lah. Alright, rather than committing one by one. Alright. So for staging, okay, let's say add paragraph here. Then I say Malaysia cars are better and Pro 2. Okay. So now you can see the changes here, right? Okay, this is the GUI, obviously very easy to see. But over here, we can also see it here by typing git status. So it says that on branch main, see our branch is main. Our branch main changes not staged for commit, which means it clearly mentioned that we have modified index.html. Alright, so no changes added to commit. So use git add or git commit -a. Git add means we will add to staging. Okay, git commit -a means it will automatically commit. Okay, we will skip the staging step lah. Alright, so since you asked how to do staging, I'll teach you. Just type git add. If you want to just change the specific file, you can just type this name. Okay, like this. Or let's say if you have few files together and then you want to stage together, you will just put dots. Okay, then dot means like all. So now you can see it has been staged. You can also check what happened. So it says that changes to be committed in this file. So this shows that this is already in staging environment. All right. So let's say I feel like, okay, this is all the changes that I've done. Okay. Now I want to commit. So, okay. Let's see. So you type git commit dash n, and then you type the message. You can say added description. Okay, that's why I added a cast description, right? So that is why. Oops. Okay, so now this has been added, successfully committed. Committed means successfully saved. Alright, so you can type git status now. You can check. There's nothing to commit. That means we are clear of changes. So do you understand now, Sharp? Okay. Please remember, staging is like a container where when let's say you are developing some feature, you can store all your changes one by one, because when sometimes when you develop one feature, you won't develop within one day. It might take 2 or 3 days sometimes. Okay, so obviously every day you need to store all your changes, right? Sometimes you don't know what will happen next day. Maybe uh, okay, anything could happen to the project, right? It's better to store it first so you can stage all your changes. Then once you complete it, you can commit it, or else you can store each stage, all the changes in each day. Obviously, when you make the changes, you won't make it just in one folder or just one line. You'll be doing a lot. Today, for examples, I'm just thinking in one line, but in reality, you'll be doing in many lines, in many files. All right. So once you're done, you can stage all your changes in one folder. I mean, in one container, like what that is meant by staging environment. No? Then you can, once you successfully completed, you can commit, you can store, save in your repository. Okay. All right. So next, once then we can discuss about how to git after git commits about it's not needed. Next is git branch. Okay. Let me explain about the git branch concept. Right. So let me open this. Okay. Let's say you have a master file. Okay. This file is basically, okay, you can see this picture, right? Okay, this file, let's say, let's say, okay, let's say this website is already running, okay, already live, all right. But now you have a new task to do, which is you want to change all your button colors to blue now from green. All right, so that's your new task, new feature that you're doing. Assume, assume like that, nah, something like that. All right. So obviously you can't do in this master branch, which is live. Okay, if you do in this branch, then when you're changing here, everyone can see that this is blue, this is green, right? Not nice. Like it's not clean, right? And everyone will be wondering why all of a sudden this changed to blue, but this is green, because you're working and then all of a sudden you can see like bugs. Okay, anything could happen. Okay, it could make users feel like blur, or they might think that a lot of bugs in this website. So usually when you make some changes, you won't do on master. Okay, we will push the codes into master only after we properly fixed it. All right. So how you make the changes when it's already running on live? Okay. So what we will do is we will create a branch. Branch means more like just now, more like a copying this, like duplicating this. Okay, maybe duplicating this branch, and we can get that. I'll say this is not version. You can see that this is a git learning branch. What branch is this? Maybe branch button something. Okay, branch maybe okay, header 2, maybe because I want to add header 2, right? So 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 what will happen is, that's the meaning of branch. Like basically you are copying, cloning this from master, and then you can do all your changes here. Once it's completely done, then you can push all your changes to your master. Okay, that is what is happening over here. You can see they created a clone this, they cloned the master, and then they fixed all the bugs. Then they pushed the changes to master. They didn't like replace the file. They basically just change wherever there is a changes. Okay, so Git is really useful in that case because they can find where are the change, where each line has been changed, and they can help us to change just the specific lines that we have made changes. Alright, same goes when you download new features, you can just clone it, create new branch, and then you can make it ready. Maybe the release is on 1st June, then on 1st June you can merge into the master file. So it will become live. So do you understand what is branch now? Alright, so let me show you an example on how to create a branch. So now, okay, let me delete this. Okay, what will happen is now what I want to do is I want to create a new branch. So git out. Okay, let me show you first. So you can see with new branch, you can edit the code directly without impacting the main branch, which means it won't be impacting anything in the live branches. Okay, so once you've already fixed it, then you can push. So how to create a new branch? So first, let's check on which branch are we now. Okay, so to check on which branch are we now is, let me check current git branch. You can just Google it like this, then you know current git branch. Yeah, you can copy this line, or you can even go to this documentation. All right, okay, you can refer to this maybe GitHub cheat sheet. I think so. Get reference manual, then you can check okay branch. So you can see the list of branches. So you can type git branch list, git branch, then list. So you can see that we already have a branch. This will be automatically created. This is the master, the main means like master. Okay. So now you want to create a new branch, git branch, then we can type a name for the branch, new branch. Maybe we can say I want to develop a new feature, so a new header. So I can say okay, new feature because I'm adding something new, right? So we can call it as feature. So header 2, something like that. So now let's try git branch just as list. You can see we have two branches, but we are currently at this main branch. That is why this is green and as the asterisk. Alright, so if you want to see the current branch, you can check, you can read this. So okay, so alright, so actually you can see uh, if list then okay. Since this is documentation, sometimes there'll be a lot of information you have to filter. Okay, you can see here, or else you feel very hard, you can just Google that, or else you can just copy this. There's most easiest way. Alright, then right. So you can see that now the current branch is the main. Alright, now we want to change the branch from this branch to here, and then we start working on our new feature here, and then we merge it into our main. Alright, I will also show you the differences when you're on main branch and also in the header branch. So now git how to move to the new branch, this branch. To create, you just type git branch and then the name of your new branch. Alright. Now you want to check out to the branch. So git check out and then copy this branch name. That's it. Now you have switched to branch feature slash editor. Can you see here? That's it. Alright. So if you have to double check, alright, you can check git branch. Okay. So correct. So yeah. Alright. So now I want to make some changes. Okay, maybe this time I do H1. Maybe I say okay, bytes. Bytes. Alright. Then I want to put some description. Say um Malaysia as many bytes like Yamaha, this Honda, what's that? Modern also, whatever lah. Okay, so now you can see there is a new file. Okay, I've made changes to this new branch, right? So now let's check what will happen. Let me open a new VS Code now, new window, and let's check what. Okay, wait. Let me open this. So you see, it's opening back this. Alright, so let's say we're going to open in a different place. I want to show you the differences. Alright, so this is your local. Alright, so now let's say, okay, but let's say I change branch to main now. Do you think this will be there? Okay, but we haven't stored it in our repository yet. So what we should do, we should git check git add then sorry git add you store it first. All right, later when we switch to git main, we can check whether it's over there or not. Currently we are saving this in feature slash adder to branch, so it won't be reflected in git in branch main branch. So that's what I want to show you now. So I want to git commit. We already staged our changes in this branch. Okay, now I want to commit. Git commit dash n added new header. Right. So I've already saved these changes in this branch. Alright. But let's check whether this is reflected in git main. And we check out to git new another branch. Okay. So now you see it's missing because in this branch, this is that we didn't make the changes in this branch. We already cloned to a new branch and we already cloned to a new branch. Okay, assume that that's a different container and we make all the changes in a different container. So if you go to to the new branch, we check out feature slash header 2, right? See, now we can see the changes here. All right, so this is only available in this branch. So how to push, let's say now we're already done with this feature, now we want it to be on live. All right, so we can push this, we can actually we can actually merge. Okay, so wait, feature whether I got everything. Okay, it's done. Okay, next is keep. Basically we want to merge to master. So just now they have made emergency fix. So and then they want to merge the fix into master. So like just now we already made this either two, right? We want to merge these to our main branch. So what we can do, we can check out to this our main branch. Then we can git merge we can git merge the branch that we want. So what will happen is, let's see, all the changes, which means all the changes made in this branch will be merged into main, which means we are getting all the changes into our main branch now. See, now we already have those changes. All right, they already updated. So see, I'm actually in main branch. Again, but it's visible now. All right. So basically, what is happening is like just now, I created a duplicate version, right? A new branch, right? Okay, duplicated. Then I made all the changes in this folder. Then what happened is now I push all my changes into this main folder. That's what happened. All right. So if let's say if you want to delete the branch, also you can just hit branch dash D and then type the name. It will be deleted. All right. Sometimes, sometimes there'll be conflict. Conflict. I'll explain next class. A picture whether is there anything that I can cover. Alright, alright. So I'll be covering most of the topics in next class. Already done with the basics. Okay, with our local report. So next week we'll be covering all the topics together with GitHub. But before that, let me briefly explain what is GitHub. This one I've already explained. But I repeat. Let me explain again. Okay, GitHub is a place where you store your codes, and also you can use your Git to update and everything to update to make changes. All right. So basically, GitHub is like a Google Drive. Okay. So don't get confused with Git. All right. So next week we will create. I'll create a folder inside this GitHub, and then I'll teach you on how to pull into our local machine. Okay, which means we'll clone it into our laptop. Then we make our changes in our local report. Then we push those local report to the GitHub. Okay, so we'll cover all this in our next class. By the way, any questions, guys? Any questions? Do you don't understand any part? Do you want me to repeat any specific part? And do you want me some anything else that you want me to cover in next class? So far today we learn about how to download, how to config, how to git init into our new project, how to create branches, how to view status of our changes, how to also how to stage, how to commit, all right, and how to change branches and differences between the branches. Sure, you can do what you can do is you can. This is the reason why I established this course today. Okay, you can go here. You can try one by one in there. You can try downloading. You can try setting up. Okay, then do like how I did. I create a new folder. Then you can uh, uh, practice all the commas that I taught you today. In next class, I'll cover more. Yes, I'll be covering all this git pull and fetch. All the differences between git pull and fetch. Okay, next time I'll explain in detail, but however, let me briefly explain to you today. Basically, to get your code from what do you call that? From your uh, let's say assume that your friend, okay, has pushed all the changes in GitHub. All right, now you have to pull all those changes. You have to receive all those changes. You can directly type git pull and pull it, but that is like a shortcut lah, like how we use for git commit. All right, then you put dash a, you can skip the staging part. All right, you can skip the stage and you can directly commit, right? Same goes git pull. Is like you can skip fetching and also there's a two thing, you can skip two things. Git, let me try it here. Okay. Git fetch means you get the history of like okay, let me show you this. Okay. Okay. Git fetch means the git fetch means you get all the change history. Okay, which means you have in the GitHub it has been updated and now in your local repo it's not updated. So you want to fetch all your changes and then you want to merge into your uh, local repo. But Git tool is like you no need to type Git fetch, Git merge and everything like manually. You can just type Git pull and it will automatically fetch and merge all the latest changes. That's it. It's similar like how you did Git. What do you call it? Just now we did a Git add, then we did Git commit, right? Git commit, diff, and then we type the message and all that, right? But we are actually doing two steps, but you can make it into one step. How? Just like Git commit dash a dash m. So what is this negative a is doing is it will automatically uh, add and also commit, right? Same goes for git pull. It will automatically fetch and merge. That's it. So I hope you understand. Hello. So any other questions, guys? Okay, Shah don't have any questions. You don't have any other questions. All right. Okay, so if there's no any questions, okay, we will end our class here today. All right, so in our next class, please sit together with your laptop, okay, in front of your laptop, and be prepared to pull, to clone repo from my GitHub, okay, then to make, we will be creating branches for each of you, okay, and then I'll ask you to do something, then you can do changes, then you can push, pull, all right, so we can learn by doing, okay, so make sure you have your laptop here, all right, so you can understand better when you have the hands-on. All right, class, so that's all for today, all right, so thank you so much, take care, bye bye.